Hey guys, welcome back to another podcast episode. My name is Elijah and I am your host. Today I'm going to be sharing a story of my graveyard ghost hunting experience with my friend Alex, my cousin Clayton, and my sister. The events in this video happened and are not made up. It's okay to be skeptic as we are also not 100% sure on everything that occurred, but I will try to tell the story of 100% accurate and I will not lie about anything. This is my script I will be reading on my podcast and post it on Reddit, which is why it's so long for my Reddit friends. For those listening, I apologize for the sniffling. It is dry and July, so other there's no other way to express it. Anyway, this all began about 1 week earlier when I woke up Wednesday morning and my sister turned on the lights to my room, beaming bright lights directly at my sleepy eyes. She said that she wanted to go ghost hunting with me and a few other people. For context, I stayed the night at the Crescent Hotel a year and a half ago, which is the most haunted hotel in America. And I bought ghost hunting equipment and have gone ghost hunting since with family and friends occasionally. So I told my sister if she wanted a group, we could get one together. Most of our friends were busy, but I managed to get my cousin Clayton and our friend Alex to go. We went out at about 1 a.m. and we got some decent activity and some conversations. But this isn't about that night. We plan on going again about 1 week later and taking it more seriously this time. And did we find that out quick? The equipment I have is a DOTS projector, an EMF reader, and I got an Alice box on my phone, which I didn't use until later that night. You'll see. I also have 3 cat balls, a spirit box with noise canceling headphones, and a bandana for the Estes method. When we arrived at the cemetery the first time, which was about 1 a.m., my sister and Alex were grabbing other equipment from the car, and me and my cousin Clayton made our way into the cemetery to set up the equipment that we had on us. We went to the middle of the cemetery and chose that as our central command, aka we would not leave that location. We had a chair for the Estes method that I was carrying. I placed down the chair and set it facing towards the shed at the end of the back of the cemetery. Now, the cemetery was not located inside the cemetery, but just on the other side of the fence. And then I placed the back of the equipment. I placed the rest of the equipment on the chair and started going through it. As I was going through, pulling some equipment out, I heard something whisper slash scream out, "Elijah," at me from the shed area. I jumped because it startled me, and to my surprise, when I looked up, I saw was a small, dark figure staring at me in the bushes just past the fence. And as I looked up and saw it, it slowly started walking back into the bushes, concealing itself entirely. As I said, Clayton was with me, and he saw me get startled, and he looked up at the same time. And when he looked the same way, he also saw the figure, but he saw it through the DOTS projector. We were pretty freaked out, but we continued our investigation. We set up the 3 cat balls, one to our left, one to our right, and one in front of us, each on a gravestone, as well as the DOTS projector also facing towards the front on a gravestone. We did the Estes method and got words through it almost like we were talking to a small child. Occasionally, we would see this child walking in the grass through the DOTS projector. I was standing beside the chair asking questions, and felt small little hands touch my leg. What's weird is I felt positive slash neutral energy when this stuff was happening. I felt safe, which also backs up my theory that this was an innocent little child. Hey, but don't be fooled. Demonic entities can also take the form of children to fool people. But even talking about this, I still feel as though this was an actual child and not something evil. We kept getting little words like that, and then it said something about my car door, and it was over by it. So Alex decided to go and check out the car. He was walking over to the car, and then something ran past his leg. He jumped in the air and screamed out a little bit from being scared before deciding to go ahead and come back to us. On the spirit box, the little kid told us, "He's coming." And we didn't hear anything after that from the little kid. I decided to do the Estes method and sat down. I only had the headphones in for about 30 seconds when I heard the same voice tell me a full sentence. I can't remember what the sentence was, and I'm not going to lie and make one up. But after I heard the sentence, I took off the headphones because I felt something touch the back of my neck as I was sitting on the chair. I tried to put the spirit box headphones back on and continue, but the spirit box was dead and I had to change the batteries. What's weird is that they were half charged because I just charged them. I believed that something had drained the batteries because not even 10 seconds later, Alex's mom was calling him and his phone died. After the Estes method, I felt no more positive/neutral energy, but instead I was filled with evil, less friendly energy, or I could sense it. We decided it was the best to do a reset, as it was almost 2:15 roughly, and we wanted to return during the devil's hour. We went to my house and chilled until about 2:30. We did not try to laugh. We did a try not to laugh challenge, and Alex lost. So we made plans to help him set up again in the same spot and leave him for 15 minutes in the devil's hour. For those that think we are horrible friends, he was up for the challenge, and I felt bad and made sure he was up for it about 1,000 times. We also were not leaving the property entirely, but staying halfway to the road, just close enough to where if something went wrong, he could scream and we could hear him. So we did the plan. We helped him set up the equipment, and right at 2:59, we hopped in the car and drove away. We waited until 3:15. We were a little late, and we drove back and met with him. He said that something said it was getting closer to him, and he got scared, so he started preaching and screaming it off. Then we continued ghost hunting, asking questions, and I fully set up the Alice box, which the Alice box on the app has a radar. So when something gets in the vicinity, it makes a beep, and as it gets closer, the beeps get faster. So as we first set up the Alice box, there was nothing on the radar. Then about 3 minutes later, the radar started slow beeping. It continued like that for a while, but then the radar started beeping like crazy, and we started freaking out. We got in a tricircle, each facing a direction, and shining the light, checking our perimeters. I was shining the light beside Alex when, for about 3 seconds, I saw a darker, red-looking creature. Small, long arms and legs. It had a head, but no facial features, and it walked on its hands and legs. It ran across the ground beside Alex. It scared me a good bit and left me in shock. I did not tell my friends yet because, to be honest, I was kind of scared. But about 10 seconds later, Alex kind of jumped and said he shined the light, and when he did, he saw a creature of some sort jump behind a grave. We went over and checked it out, but there was nothing. But from what he described, I knew exactly that he saw the same creature I did. I then shared what I saw, and Alex was scared that I was lying. So I had to swear, like, on my life that I saw the same. We then continued to ask questions, and we figured out what happened. We believe this demonic creature lives in the shed on the back of the graveyard. Not in the graveyard, again, across the fence. We also believe this creature has no power, as the graveyard is holy ground. We kept trying to get the creature to touch the cat balls, but it kept saying no power and couldn't, which makes the most sense to us. We wrapped it up around 4:10, as after it hit 4, the activity stopped and the creature left us. We also have another theory that the creatures can come out and harass at approximately 3 to 4, and it has a peak of hour cap at 3:33. We have plans to go back, and I would love to tell the story to you guys then. For my Spotify listeners, I plan on doing an interview on Alex from how he perceived the story, and he also recorded him at the graveyard. And I will link this YouTube video clip of it then. Thank you guys for reading/watching, and I hope you all have a blessed day.